Hey guys, I'm lost in the woods just before dusk, which makes it the perfect time and place to be discussing the latest news in the Celsius bankruptcy. As most of you are likely aware, the Fahrenheit plan is no more, and we are apparently going forward with a stripped down version of it built around mining only, which raises some questions naturally. The whole idea of having a backup bid in BRICs was to be standing at the ready in case the Fahrenheit group bid was not going to work. And now that that moment has arrived, we are still not winding down, which begs the question, what exactly have we been paying the BRICs group $300,000 a month for? Before I look to find my way back to civilization here, as we all in this bankruptcy process are also looking to do, we might try exploring this question a bit more. It feels like the powers that be were taking the SEC silence on the pre-clearance matter as a positive indicator. They hadn't said no, but apparently they say no after the plan confirmation, after everybody had voted for the plan. This presents a relatively large problem now. The idea was to incorporate NewCo and list it on NASDAQ. Certain assets such as Ethereum and various illiquid assets would be transferred to the new entity. And to be listed on NASDAQ, you would also need to undergo an audit. There apparently was an exemption that was sought and denied. In terms of trying to understand the SEC's behavior, we could look to the Voyager case to get an inkling of what may have happened. If you'll recall, after they confirmed their second plan, the SEC objected to distribution of certain assets because they may be securities. And the judge, I believe it was Judge Wiles, raked them over the coals for not being specific with regards to whether they were or were not securities. Surely that's what the SEC is supposed to provide guidance on, and they declined to. So even in the area of defining securities that they should have expertise in, they were reluctant to provide a definitive answer on. And we may have seen that repeat itself in this case. You'll recall that the SEC's representative in the court was asked about the SEC's position on the pre-clearance matter in the last court hearing, and she informed us that she was not in active communication with her colleagues who were deciding that matter. So if the SEC's representative in the Celsius case doesn't even know the answer, that likely leads us to expect that the people in control of this bankruptcy process between the debtors and the UCC were similarly left in the dark. That doesn't let them off the hook, though. If we're going to go this route, we needed to make sure that it was a viable option to be granted this pre-clearance, to be granted the ability to list on NASDAQ. The whole idea of this NewCo is not to drag unwilling creditors along. They need a listing to be able to trade out of their equity in a reasonable manner. So we've kind of been wasting our time. We're now 16 months into bankruptcy. We are all at the end of our patience. We want this process wrapped up. And how are we going to do that? Is this stripped down NewCo the right answer? It seems like a vote of no confidence for the BRICs group, but we will need to have explained in court why the BRICs group is not attractive to us. Certainly the fee structure doesn't look that great. Feels like this plan wasn't fully explored, wasn't fully fleshed out. We were all in on NewCo and now are paying the price for not having fully fleshed out our safety valve. The big issue is plan resolicitation. This would take a long time, or a new auction would also take a long time, and I don't think anybody really has an appetite for that. The idea of non-resolicitation would be that we all effectively voted already, and this new stripped down version is sufficiently similar, we don't need to ask people again whether we think this is the right option. But I think it's going to be pretty difficult to avoid resolicitation when you examine the details. The big issue is during the vote, you'll recall that we had an option to toggle for either more crypto or more equity. And this was specifically designed to grant loans holders preference with the crypto toggle. The idea being that loans people would be able to preserve as much of their collateral as possible in order to shield them from tax implications. Under the Fahrenheit plan, 100% of loans togglers are receiving 100% crypto. they're still going to be impaired, but they're getting all crypto back, or they would have been getting all crypto back. But now that's imperiled because the people that toggled to equity, which enabled the crypto toggle on the other side, they now are having buyer's remorse. Sentiment on Twitter shows these equity togglers questioning whether they would want equity in this stripped down NewCo. And for good reason, because it's something quite different from what they thought they were toggling for. But if you unwind this equity toggle, you're then leaving the loans people who toggled for crypto high and dry. Presumably there would be then less crypto available for them. So would they get some of the additional crypto that's available for distribution? That might be a way of saving the plan, but that would call into question the equitable nature of the solution, since you'd be effectively giving more value to loans people and going beyond the terms of the mediation settlement. This does raise a lot of questions. We are going to have an action-packed day in court on November 30th, when we'll be likely getting an update on these new developments, as well as more details on the substantial contribution applications. So these are both the ad hocs, and you have individual applicants, everyone from Simon Dixon to Zachary Wilds to Daniel Frischberg and Emmanuel Herman. And a lot of these applications may be rejected or limited in terms of what they're able to get back. The U.S. trustee objected to every single last one of these, while the debtors and the UCC selectively endorsed some and either omitted or objected to others. The good news is it seems one Zachary Wilds, the AMA co-host for Alexander Mashinsky, who perpetrated this fraud on thousands of people, his application for a 5-figure payout will likely be rejected. It seems likely that Simon Dixon and Bank to the Futures application will at the least get severely haircut. The trustee objected to it outright, while the debtors objected to a large portion of the fees, approximately half of it. So there's likely to be a haircut there if it does get through. The individual applicants may in general not be in a great position. It seems like the 3 ad hocs between loans, earn, and custody are in the best position to get their fees reimbursed. Ignat Tuganov is also in a reasonably good position, though he'll likely have to settle for a fee reduction there as well. He's agreed to a 15% reduction in fees. And I may do another video going into more depth on these subcon applications. All this and more will be on November 30th. Until then, I'm going to try to find my way back to civilization, much like I hope in this bankruptcy process we'll also be able to get out of the woods soon. Hope you've all had a happy Thanksgiving and are enjoying this holy day of retail harmony. Catch you soon. Well, I think that went reasonably well. I'm trying out my new wireless Rode microphone, which is able to record my voice even at this distance. And as I walk into the background, I wanted to also let you know that I'm working on a special recording. I'm looking to cover this crazy spaces that Jason Amerson recorded the day before Thanksgiving, where he talked at length for apparently over 5 hours, mostly about his hero or anti-hero, Simon Dixon. He accuses everybody of worshiping Simon, but appears to be the most dedicated to him, which is kind of strange. So in a way, he is the real founder of Simontology. There was so much misinformation, I'll likely be doing an entire advent calendar throughout December, hopefully with the help of Mark Pressel. I'm looking to make Helsius a little bit more of a team effort. So if you'd like to help edit scripts to bring them up to top grade, feel free to ping Helsius Network on Twitter. Catch you guys soon.